Ever slathered on that smooth, waxy magic in a little blue jar and wondered, wait, where does this stuff even come from? I mean, it feels so clean and pure. But get this, Vaseline petroleum jelly starts its life as crude oil. Yep, you heard me. That same black gold that fuels our cars and powers our industries. It's kind of wild, right? How does something that starts so raw and gritty end up being the go-to for chapped lips, dry skin, and even baby bottoms? Well, buckle up, because today we're taking a deep dive into the insane journey of petroleum jelly, from deep within the earth to your bathroom cabinet. And trust me, it's a glope for the ages. Our story begins millions of years ago, deep underground. Imagine ancient oceans teeming with tiny marine organisms like algae and plankton. When these little guys died, they sank to the ocean floor and got buried under layers and layers of sediments, silt, and rock. Over eons, the intense pressure and heat from the Earth's core cooked this organic goo into a thick, black, energy-rich substance. We call it crude oil or petroleum. It's basically a fossil fuel smoothie made of ancient sea life. So when we see those massive oil rigs, whether they're out in the ocean or on land, they're not just drilling for gasoline. They're tapping into this prehistoric soup. The raw crude oil they pump up is a complex cocktail of hydrocarbons, and it's the very first ingredient in our Vaseline recipe. But at this stage, it's a sludgy, smelly, black liquid. You wouldn't want to put this anywhere near your skin. So, how do we get from this gunk to the clean, translucent jelly we know and love? The magic happens at a refinery. Huge tanker ships or pipelines transport the crude oil to these sprawling industrial complexes that look like something out of a sci-fi movie, with towering columns and a maze of pipes. This is where the separation anxiety begins for the oil. That is, the process is called fractional distillation. In simple terms, the refinery folks heat the crude oil to super high temperatures over 400 degrees Celsius or 750 degrees Fahrenheit. This turns most of the oil into a hot vapor. This vapor then rises up through a giant structure called a distillation tower or a fractionating column. Now, here's the cool part. The tower is hottest at the bottom and gradually gets cooler toward the top. As the vapor rises, it cools down. Different components of the crude oil have different boiling points, so they condense back into liquid at different levels inside the tower. The lightest components with the lowest boiling points, like propane and butane, rise all the way to the top. A little further down, you get gasoline. Below that, kerosene, which is used for jet fuel, then diesel, lubricating oils for engines, and so on. And what's left at the very bottom of the tower, the heaviest, stickiest, gooeyest stuff, with the highest boiling point. These are the heavy waxes and residues that didn't vaporize, and hidden within this thick, dark, waxy sludge is our diamond in the rough. The raw material for petroleum jelly. At this point, it's called petroleum. It's still unrefined, packed with impurities, and has a weird color and smell. It's definitely not skin-ready, but this is the gold mine. This waxy residue is where our journey gets a lot more refined. Literally, petrochemists take this raw petroleum and put it through a hardcore purification spa day. The goal is to strip away everything that isn't the pure, stable hydrocarbon chains we want. This involves several steps. First, it goes through a process of solvent extraction. They mix the wax with a solvent that dissolves the impurities, all the aromatic compounds and other gnarly stuff you don't want on your skin, leaving the desirable waxy part behind. Then comes the real transformation. Hydrogenation. This step is a total game changer. The semi-purified wax is put into a reactor under high heat and pressure, and it's treated with hydrogen gas. This process does a couple of amazing things. It removes any remaining double bonds in the hydrocarbon molecules, making them incredibly stable. This is why Vaseline doesn't go bad or oxidize easily. It also removes any last traces of sulfur, nitrogen, and other impurities, which helps get rid of any lingering odors and colors. This is what turns the wax from a yellowish or brownish color into that familiar, almost clear substance. The texture also changes, becoming smoother and more consistent. But we're not done yet. Purity is everything. The jelly then undergoes another round of intense filtration. It's often passed through things like activated carbon or clays, which act like supermagnets for any microscopic impurities that might have survived. Think of it like a Brita filter on steroids. This process, sometimes called bleaching, further lightens the color until it's a pristine, pearly white. Finally, to get that iconic semi-solid creamy texture, the purified jelly is carefully cooled and churned. The rate of cooling is controlled precisely to form the right crystal structure. If you cool it too fast, it can get grainy, too slow, and it might not set right. They churn it, kind of like making butter, until it achieves that perfectly smooth, homogeneous, and spreadable bomb. The final product is what's known as white petroleum jelly USP, which means it meets the strict standards set by the United States Pharmacopoeia for medical-grade purity. In fact, brands like Vaseline boast that their jelly is triple purified. This isn't just marketing fluff. It means it has gone through distillation, deaeration, and filtration over and over to ensure it's non-carcinogenic, non-comedogenic. Non-comedogenic, meaning it won't clog your pores and the World Health Organization even recognizes purified petroleum jelly as a safe and effective skin protectant. So, let's recap this epic transformation. We start with ancient marine life dying and getting squished into crude oil deep within the earth. This crude oil is drilled, transported to a refinery, and boiled in a giant tower. We take the heavy, waxy gunk from the bottom of that tower. We then filter it, hydrogenate it, filter it again, and churn it until it becomes the ultra-pure, crystal-clear, triple purified jelly that we can safely put on our bodies. It's pretty mind-blowing, isn't it? Something that starts its life as black, raw fossil fuel becomes one of the most trusted and gentle skin protectants in the world. It's a testament to some seriously clever chemistry and engineering. The same source that gives us asphalt for our roads and fuel for our jets also gives us the very thing we use to soothe a baby-esque rash or heal cracked, dry hands in the winter, so the next time you open that little jar of Vaseline, take a second to appreciate the journey it took. From the bottom of an ancient ocean to the bottom of a distillation tower, and through a gauntlet of purification processes, all to become that simple, unassuming, and incredibly useful staple in your home. It's ancient ocean soup, refined by science, turned into a moisturizing legend. And that is pretty darn cool. Thanks for nerding out with me today on this wild ride from crude to classic. If you enjoyed this deep dive, do me a solid and hit that like button and subscribe for more stories behind the stuff we use every day. Let me know in the comments what you want to see broken down next. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next one.